Listen up. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed in this podcast belong solely to the podcast participants, and not to any participant's employer, organization, committee, or other group or individual. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. You know, for fun. So lighten up and enjoy. Oh, what a delay between the disclaimer and the pre-show intro. That was Stomping Jen. Yay. All right, episode 51. The episode I said would not happen, but it's happening. I did not quit the podcast.
Woohoo! Where's the button? Can you make my headphones a tiny bit louder?
Yeah, you're using junk headphones tonight.
Thanks, Maddie.
Is that better?
That's better.
Okay.
Thank you. Preach.
All right, episode 51, in which we talk about a whole bunch of stuff, including, well, just listen.
All right.
The Soft Serve Podcast. Creamy, delicious ideas without the creepy truck. Okay. Here it is. Episode 51.
It's like we turned a corner.
Yeah, I guess so. I really was not going to do another podcast.
Wah, wah.
I know. But here we are, doing it.
You want to talk about why you changed your mind?
Because I like attention, and I like to hear myself talk. No matter how depressed or frustrated I get. That's always going to be the case, I think.
Yeah.
So here I am. You're just agreeing with that.
You're like a glutton for punishment.
What do you mean?
You just put yourself out there, say you're not going to do it anymore. Everybody knows you're lying.
I wasn't lying. I was being sincere at the time.
At the time.
I was not lying. I was absolutely 100% being genuine.
I could see through your facade.
I was depressed last week.
I'm sorry.
So I didn't want to do any more.
I'm sorry.
And that fucking song by Sturgill Simpson, Make Art Not Friends, had me convinced that I didn't need any more friends and that I didn't need to be social at all.
Wait, so in the week since we last podcasted, have you made new friends?
No. I got rid of friends.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. I'm getting rid of friends. So,
all right.
I still don't feel like I need friends. That's still true.
You just have me.
But I need to podcast.
Why do you need anybody else?
I guess I don't. I guess at the end of the day.
Unless, of course, I disappear into a black hole in space. If I get sucked out of the universe by some unknown mystery.
I guess it could
like
happen.
Aliens land on the planet.
Oh, don't get me started on that. No, I want to do a whole. I might have to just do a separate, like, supplemental thing about this, real quick. So, and I don't know why this isn't in the news. God, I don't want to go into this. But basically, the U.S. military has admitted that we are being regularly and frequently visited by these aircraft that display propulsion characteristics and propulsion techniques that are impossible and completely foreign to any known aircraft. Like, they can just hover, they emit no signs of exhaust, and they can go from speeds of like 0 miles an hour to 20,000 miles an hour and fly out into space like instantaneously. Like, this is a fact. The U.S. military has admitted this. A woman wrote a book, a New York Times reporter, not like a kook, where she went around and interviewed military people all over the world. And this is like a well-known thing. The U.S. government has spent hundreds of millions of dollars studying it, and nobody knows what to do about it. But like, it is a legit phenomenon, right? And there was a guy on the Joe Rogan podcast, a Navy pilot, who was talking about his encounter with one of these things, and it's amazing. It's absolutely fascinating. So,
well,
anyway, so it makes me really wonder. I'm back to thinking we're not alone in the universe, and we're actually being visited by these craft.
Let's talk about the crafts that were flying all over our area today.
Oh.
We live right by a Air Force base.
Yeah, in Connecticut.
Yeah.
What is it, Hanscom? No. Westover Air
There was like
Field.
a ton of planes flying around today.
Yeah, Trump's up to some shit.
Yeah.
Get ready.
Well, we totally just jumped into the show. We like skipped over all this stuff.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was talking about aliens. All right. Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe, download.
You can tell friends again.
Yes.
Go back to telling friends
On
and
episode
leaving
50,
reviews.
on episode 50, I asked you to specifically tell friends not to listen to the podcast. I'm changing my mind.
Correcting course.
Yeah. We're back. So I'm going to ask you to please go tell all those friends that you told not to listen to the podcast to now listen, please.
Resume your listening
Resume.
pleasure.
Please resume. We need resuming to occur. So do that. Nobody has left us a review in a long time, in months.
No.
So if you haven't left us a review,
and you feel inclined to do so,
you're not really a fan if you haven't left us a review.
Yeah. That's a challenge to all you people out there. It was
but I know people do listen to us.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Should I tell this story? I was at the gym today, right? And I apologized to this person in advance, but you were creeping me out a little bit. So I'm on the treadmill running, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I notice there is a person I'm assuming is a woman a few treadmills down to me. She keeps looking over at me. I'm like, why the fuck is this woman looking at me?
Mm-hmm.
Right? What did I do? Like, what's her problem with me? I almost said something. I almost turned to her and said, like, what's your fucking problem? And she got done with her workout, and I had finished running, and I was doing my walking, and she stops in front of my treadmill and holds up her phone, and on it is a picture of you and me. Stomping Jen and Sawtooth Frank.
I think that's because we're friends on Facebook.
I don't know. And she goes, is your name so-and-so? She used my real name, my government name. Right? I said,
Your for real's name?
Yeah. She goes, oh, well. She goes, I actually know you as Sawtooth Frank.
And then she sauntered away.
And we had a nice conversation after that. It was fine. But it was weird. So I don't know if that means she listens to the podcast. I don't know what that meant.
She must.
Well, if she knows me as Sawtooth Frank, she has to, right?
Yeah.
Anyways.
That's like that time at the party when somebody came up to you and said,
what should I call her? She needs a name. I'm going to call her,
that wasn't what you should call her.
The Treadmill?
That's a terrible name.
That's her name, the Treadmill.
The Treadmill?
Yeah, that's her name, Treadmill.
Ugh, all right.
All right, Treadmill. So if you are listening, thank you.
Shout out to the Treadmill.
Thanks for listening, Treadmill. I appreciate it. So why did I say that? Oh yeah, so people are listening. We know people are listening.
Yeah. True story.
All right. We have a show Beverage tonight.
Mm-hmm.
It is grade A, 400 gold medal winning pure grade wino juice.
Mm-hmm.
Sutter Home Pinot Grigio.
Mm-hmm.
This is stuff that winos drink.
You think so?
I do think so. Winos love this kind of stuff.
You can't fit the bottle in a paper bag, though.
I feel like my microphone is buzzing.
Yeah.
Test 1, 2. Does it sound buzzy?
I don't hear buzzing, but I have shitty headphones, so
No, your
can't
good ones.
tell what's going on.
Good ones will be charged in a few minutes. I don't know what this problem is that I've been hearing with the buzzing. So,
Maybe
anyways.
it's your headphones. Maybe you should swap.
Did my voice
headphones.
sound okay on episode 50?
Yeah.
You didn't listen to it.
I totally.
You're
listened
lying.
to it.
Okay, so let's move on.
God.
So we're drinking Sutter Home Pinot Grigio, grade A wino juice.
Is it?
This isn't real wine. I listened on a podcast once about how they make this shit. It's pretty scary.
What do you mean?
How they make cheap wine.
What do they do?
So they basically, these giant wineries, they just buy up millions of acres, plant like garbage grapes on them, right? And then they go down the line, like miles and miles worth of fields with these giant harvesting machines. And they just scoop up everything in the vines. They comb out everything in the vines. So insects, mice, snakes, like all get swept up in the harvesting machines, and they get dumped into the
Combine.
and they get all ground up. Yeah. So enjoy your fucking mouse, snake, bug wine. Anyway, so they don't hand harvest the grapes. What?
My ear just went out.
Oh. All right, so that's what we're drinking tonight. So it's probably not a good idea because I have not been drinking much.
No, that's the best time. Garbage wine.
So we'll see as we get into this, as the wine starts hitting me, how this goes. Okay. All right, we ready to go into news and shout-outs?
Yeah, you already...
No, we
dove
didn't.
into it
Okay,
a
here we
little
go. Whoops. I'm off my game already.
Drink more wine.
Okay. All right, we already covered this. Episode 50 was not the last podcast.
Right.
I talked about why, right?
Mm-hmm.
I talked about why. So we'll scratch that off. Let's see. Other things we've been up to. So we're recording this on a Tuesday night. I just realized I have to publish this tonight if it's going to come out tomorrow morning.
Oh, sugar.
That means I have to go over to my computer and do like 20 minutes of work. I don't do any more post-production on these.
Okay.
I just upload them. You get what you get and you don't get upset.
That's right.
That's how this works now. So, what was I going to say? So we're recording this on a Tuesday, and this past weekend we put up Halloween decorations.
Yes.
Now, left over from last year, last Halloween, all year round, we've had a plastic skeleton in our front yard.
His name is Bob.
His name is Bob, named by the children. This year, the children modified Bob. We had some extra plastic skeleton arms hanging around. And so they zip-tied new arms onto Bob. So he has 4 arms now.
Yeah.
He looks pretty creepy, actually.
Yeah.
They did a good job with that.
Yeah, but we had a whole discussion that they wanted to have a friend for Bob.
Yes, so over the weekend, I took Space Unicorn and Ted to the Halloween store. No, I took him to Target.
AKA the Halloween
Yeah,
store.
we bought a new skeleton to stand next to Bob. And
What's its name?
Maddie. Now, we had a conversation about
Not assuming gender.
the relationship, yes, that, but the relationship between Maddie and Bob. And I think the consensus was that They are life partners.
Okay.
And because we can't determine the gender, we don't know if Bob is a male or Maddie's a male or Bob's a female or Maddie's a female
they're just skeletons.
Or if they're gender queer. We don't know.
Right. They're just skeletons hanging out.
Right. We have no idea. They're skeletons. They're hanging out, and
we'll see if they last a whole year.
But the children did go so far as to say they are life partners.
Mm-hmm.
So Bob now has a life partner to stand with him in front of the yard.
You just gendered him. You just gendered the skeleton.
Well, okay. For the purposes of the conversation, I'm going to assume Bob's gender.
Why?
Why shouldn't I? You don't think I should?
Yeah. They.
Okay. I can use they.
Yeah. They.
Yeah. All right. They.
They.
Okay. Bob and is a they. And
Bob
him.
and
Them.
is a
they. It's this fucking wine, I told you.
Just keep drinking it. Drink your juice.
No, I don't want to drink my juice. I have to work tomorrow. So, okay. All right. And I put up other Halloween decorations. I put up the lights.
Mm-hmm.
I have a bunch of other like bones and skulls that I hang from hooks and zip tie to posts.
Yep.
I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we have a pretty solid setup.
Yeah. Considering we get like 4 trick-or-treaters.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, I just like to do it. I don't know why.
It's fun because they have fun with the kids.
Yeah, well, I didn't grow up in a house where we decorated really for Halloween on the outside.
You did for Christmas.
Yeah, well, because my mother had a lady boner for Christmas.
Right.
So.
Well, we didn't celebrate. I mean, we didn't decorate for any holiday, so.
No, not even Rosh Hashanah?
You don't decorate for Rosh Hashanah.
What about Passover?
Nope.
No
decorations.
Okay, well, so the Halloween decorations are up.
Yep.
And I almost didn't do them because I was still feeling depressed at the end of last week. But I said, you know what? It was a beautiful day. I wanted to get outside.
Right.
I wanted to put those decorations up.
Yep.
So I did it.
Yep.
I did it. So they're up. Halloween decorations done. Now I do have them on a timer.
You do?
Yeah, the lights are on a timer.
Cool.
So they come on at sundown. They stay on for 8 hours.
How do they know when it's sundown?
It's a photoreactive
It is?
timer.
That's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's the same way I run the pool.
Oh. Cool.
Yeah. Was there just a noise?
No.
A cat?
Are you hearing things?
Did you fart?
No.
Do you hear that?
Hear what?
I'm hearing static in my headphones. There's something. I'm getting noise. There's interference from something. I don't know what it is.
It's those fucking airplanes all over the place. I'm telling you. All day.
I'm not sure what it is. It is these headphones, I think. It's driving me fucking bananas. Sorry, people. Okay.
All right, let's move on.
I'll muddle through.
Tell us about the project you're working on.
What project?
It's next on the list.
Oh, thank you. I'm working on a new poem.
Poem?
Yeah. So.
How do you say poetry?
A poem.
Oh.
A poem. You don't say poem?
No. Nobody says poem.
That's how you're supposed to say it. Poem.
No, wrong.
I am working on a new poem. And it was started, the inspiration. What is that noise?
You do have the window open and there are cars driving by.
Could that be it?
I don't know.
I wonder if these microphones are sensitive enough to pick up the wind.
Okay. Tell us about your
Sorry, it's
poem.
driving me nuts. I might have to quit. So this poem.
Too legit to quit.
I started it last week.
Too legit.
As a response to dealing with my depressiveness. So when it's ready, I will. I may not read it here. I actually may. I may record it separately and do some post-production on it. Because I'm seeing it as a whole audio story in a way.
Okay.
So
sounds interesting.
It's coming. I don't know what that noise is. It's driving me crazy.
All right. What did you write? Community project. What is that?
Oh, so this is this thing I'm never going to get to do. So we live in a town called Belchertown, Massachusetts. It's a little town in western Massachusetts. And there's a local cultural council that's part of a state network of cultural councils. And they do grants every year for community projects. And I started a grant to do...
Application.
I started an application for a grant to do a series of podcasts focused on artists and interesting people in the community. But I have found the application process so difficult.
Don't give up.
That I think I'm going to give up.
Don't give up.
I got to the budget section of it.
That's the...
And I decided that I want money to do the project, but it asks you for all of this budget stuff, and I have no idea what to put.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not a numbers guy. I just want to submit my idea for the project and have somebody throw money at me if they approve it.
No, you have to ask for a specific amount of money.
I don't know what that amount is.
All right, I'm going to put you in touch with somebody else.
I don't want to be in touch. I'm too busy to be in touch with anybody.
Okay.
I just need to know what to put.
I can't tell you what to put.
So hence my giving up.
Ugh, that's ridiculous.
Because nobody can assist me on what to put.
All right.
It's fine. The community project is dead.
I don't know that it's dead.
I had this idea of...
People listening to it, contact Sawtooth.
I had this idea of interviewing interesting people and putting them on this podcast.
Yep. Should do it.
Nope, it's dead.
Oh my God.
We'll see. I still have a few days.
Yeah, you do.
All right. This next item is yours.
Oh, yes. I put this on here.
I'll be right back. You keep talking.
Wait, where are you going?
Just keep talking.
I can't talk to nobody.
Yes, you can. Just talk.
So I buy annual passes to Six Flags every year for all of us. And I was informed that I needed to go to the park this past weekend to upgrade our passes. Otherwise, we wouldn't get parking for next year. And so I had to go. I know. First world problems. By the park, I got an email.
Why do they care?
Because if you don't activate the passes, you don't get free parking.
Okay.
So I don't know. They just want you to go to the park, and it was so stupid because I got bring a friend free the weekend prior, and then I just got an email after we went, and I wanted to see if anybody could come, but I didn't have any free passes. But of course, next weekend I have free passes. They sent me an email today. Anyways, we went, and it's during their annual Fright Fest, which is always fun. Fright Fest is when they deck out the park with Halloween decorations, and they try to make it spooky.
Okay, spooky and kooky.
Spooky and kooky.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of fun. It's funner if you go at night. We were there in the middle of the afternoon. So, but they had black cherry ices as a special that were black.
I noticed in the pictures that you posted that your mouths were black. Is that intentional? Is that an intentional effect of the ices?
I think it's a byproduct of drinking sugary dyed
a byproduct
ices. So anyways.
Okay.
So we were there. The kids went on a couple of rides. We ate some food because we have dining passes, and so we got our money's worth. And we left. It was fun.
Did you go on any rides?
The kids did. They went on 2 or 3.
What rides?
They went on Goliath and Flashback.
What's Goliath?
It's like a giant roller coaster. It goes upside down.
Okay. What else?
I think those are the only 2 rides they went on. And then we left.
Why'd you leave?
Because it was going to start to drizzle. It was getting late.
Did they have Halloween stuff at the park?
Yeah. The kids weren't really that interested. This because we go so often, or we've gone on everything. It's like it's not a big deal to go. It's like, go on this ride, go on
Right,
that
you have
ride.
season passes.
Right.
It's not special anymore.
Right. So it's more fun when you get to take people. That's why I like that. I like getting the free passes and then taking people with us. That
like friends?
yeah, and then the kids can have fun with their friends. So, but it's so stupid. So unbeknownst to us, friends of ours were in the park at the same day. We just didn't know they were there. And it would have been more enjoyable, but it was fine. We had fun with the kids. We got some cattle corn.
I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Where was I?
Cleaning the house.
Yeah.
Because it was a giant mess.
Yeah, I hadn't vacuumed the house
in months, I think.
In well over a month. It was really gross. I removed about 3 canisters of this Apple Watch I have has a magnetic wristband.
It's sticking to your thing.
I'm trying.
Why don't you take your watch off?
Because I like having
while you're doing it, and then you won't have this problem.
I don't want to put this pop filter on my microphone. That's what I've been doing, people. Sorry. So I can, my P's should sound better.
Your P's?
Yeah, I have trouble enunciating P's. Anyway, so P's, my P's. Okay, so.
The other thing I wanted to add to this list that wasn't on here.
Add it.
Was I was given a code.
What code?
To try Stop and Shops, which is our local grocery stores. Online ordering and pickup.
How did that go?
It was really smooth. So I picked all the items out that I would have gotten in the store online in the comfort of my own home. And then I chose the pickup time.
Okay.
And then I went to the store. And there's like a sign. You have to park in a specific location.
Does a pimply teen bring your groceries out?
Basically, you call them.
Here you go,
and you're like,
ma'am.
I'm in parking space number 4. And they come out and it's all packaged up. And they just put it in your car and you go home.
Thank you, Mrs. for shopping with Stop and Shop. Whoops. I told you, wine. All right. 27.40.
Now you have to do post-production.
Thank you, Mrs. Stomping Jen, for stopping at Stop and Shop. Okay.
All right.
You just added 5 minutes onto my evening. Thank you.
I didn't do a thing. You did it.
Okay. So
that happened.
Stop and Shop.
Stop and Shop.
How did we get on
ordering, that? I added it.
Oh.
Yeah.
And why were you doing that? There's something happening today, a holiday.
So tonight is the start of Yom Kippur, which is the end cap to Rosh Hashanah. It's the holiest day of the Jewish New Year.
Right.
I mean, of the Jewish year.
Right.
Rosh Hashanah being the Jewish New Year. And then you have the 10 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur to atone for all of your sins.
How many sins did you atone for?
1,003.
Did you commit any new sins?
Possibly. We'll see. We'll see if we can get through tonight. Anyways, it's supposed to be a fast day, which starts after dinner. So the wine might be in violation of that.
Oh. Well, aren't you supposed to have wine with dinner?
No, you're not supposed to have wine with dinner. You're supposed to finish up your dinner before the holiday starts. Oh. Because it's a fast.
We're already in violation.
Day. And
so
then
what do we have? So let me ask the question. What do we have to lose here?
What?
We're in violation already. Yeah. What do we have to lose?
I don't know. And the irony is that our list is all about food.
Yeah, that's true.
So anyways, tomorrow's Yom Kippur. But I wanted to talk just like a few minutes about this article I read about the othering of people in general.
Go on. This sounds interesting.
And so somebody had posted an article about it written by a woman who's a kidlit literature author.
Kidlit. Kid literature?
Literature.
Okay.
A young adult author talking about her experience of being othered.
Being felt?
No, how she felt growing up.
Okay.
And just in general in life.
All right.
And how she's raising her children and, how...
Is she Jewish?
Yeah, she's Jewish.
Okay.
And...
what's her name?
I don't recall the name of the woman who wrote the article. But I posted it, so you can feel free to look at it.
Okay, I will.
But just this idea that, we live in an area where our kids don't get off for the Jewish holidays, and there's not a lot of kids that, it interferes with things.
This place is all deep with Christians. Right. Let's be honest.
I mean, most of the world, right? So it's like 98% of the world is not Jewish.
Right, go on.
In America, whatever. But it's interesting because then, I felt like just this week I had a couple of experience of feeling othered.
Yeah.
By the guy that came out to hand me my Stop and Shop delivery.
Oh.
Where he was
little bastard going
boasting about how he knew what the challah was and he knew where to find it, and other people might not have known what the challah was. And you're gonna play the Jew music now?
Yeah, you can say that. I can't.
Some new Jew music.
No, this is the best Jewish music. Go on.
And I had a semi-colleague person come up to me this week, and because I had written
Do you think they listen to this?
No. They had written an email.
What if they do?
Well, then I'm not saying who it is.
What if they lie in bed at night and listen to us?
I had written an email referring to the fact that I had been super busy because of the high holidays. Yep. And so casually this person asked me, is your husband? And I said, no, I see. Because, he's not Jewish. I'm Jewish.
It's
I know
like they
because my last name.
It's like they couldn't spit the word Jewish out.
And not Jewish sounding. And, what holiday were you celebrating? And I had to explain how, Rosh Hashanah was last week and tomorrow is going to be Yom Kippur. And it's just, it's not in the consciousness the way that the Christian holidays are.
Yeah.
Very prevalent in society. And, I have to make sure that my children tell teachers that
let me say
it's
something.
An excused absence for them for school.
Can I add something here?
Yeah.
If I hear one more Christian tell me about the fucking war on Christmas and how they feel disenfranchised because people want to say happy holidays and they feel like they can't see Merry Christmas.
Right. Not everybody is celebrating Christmas.
I want to say something. As an atheist myself and somebody who is married to somebody who's not a Christian but is of a different religion, I will tell you right now, Christians are not under attack in this country. Christmas is not under attack in this country. You get fucking Christmas
from the whole week off for Christmas, for fuck's sake.
The minute fucking Halloween ends, okay?
It's all Christmas.
12:01 a.m. fucking November 1st.
No, not November 1st.
Yes,
yes. Yes, Halloween. Yes, I got it. Yes, I'm with you.
Until the third week of January.
Yeah, it's pretty much Christmas.
It's all that fucking music from the Nutcracker.
I already heard Christmas music in a store.
I just want to say, all of you Christians, you got plenty of fucking Christmas, okay?
We're all drowning in your Christmas.
We're all drowning in your fucking Christmas. It's not under attack. It's not going anywhere. And you can have a little goddamn fucking cultural awareness about other holidays.
Yeah. It's interesting, too. I saw another post by somebody on my Facebook feed who was posting something about Hobby Lobby not that somebody had approached their local Hobby Lobby in a predominantly Jewish area, actually very close to where I live.
Okay.
Which was ironic because that person doesn't live in New Jersey. But how they inquired where the Hanukkah stuff was in the Hobby Lobby and was told...
What's Chanukah?
was told that the CEO of Hobby Lobby, that they hold Christian values and they do not carry any Jewish...
What? It's almost like you...
store.
What? It's almost like you think Jesus Christ was a Jew.
You're being a little judgmental by assuming that the owner of Hobby Lobby has a southern accent right now.
Yes, CEO of Hobby Lobby. Jesus Christ was a Jew. How dare you?
Yeah, not only are they anti-Semitic seeming...
You're gonna have to get your Elmer's glue and your
also
little wooden sticks and your fake plants somewhere else.
donate against...
LGBT causes.
And Planned Parenthood, abortion, and stuff like that.
So Hobby Lobby, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. So that's been predominantly on my mind, I think, a little bit with the high holidays.
Hashtag fuck Hobby Lobby.
Right. So
hashtag fuck Christmas?
No.
No?
No, I mean,
okay.
Listen, everybody's entitled to do what they want.
Hey, listen, this is just your old pal Sawtooth speaking. Hashtag fuck Christmas.
So
sorry.
I just love that every year Space Unicorn's like, how come we don't celebrate Christmas? And we're like, well,
let me just tell people, okay, in case you have a problem with my position on Christmas, I've got Christmas street cred. I grew up celebrating secular Christmas. I grew up drowning in the fucking selfish materialism and false expectations of Christmas. Okay? I know what that is all about. I have an informed opinion and firsthand experience. So I don't want to hear it. Hashtag fuck Christmas.
Okay.
That's going to be the title of this podcast. All right. I don't think, I think we've probably committed some new sins by not being compassionate and understanding. Or at least me. You've been fine. You've been fine. I haven't been. I've been unfair.
All right.
So to my Christian brothers and sisters and non-gendered friends, let me say something.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I apologize for saying hashtag fuck Christmas. I'm still sticking by hashtag fuck Hobby Lobby.
Well, like, here's another interesting, like, now that I'm thinking more deeply about it.
Go ahead. Think deeply, please.
I had somebody also say to me.
What did they say?
And it's not ignorant, and it's like you shouldn't. I don't know. Okay, I don't know anything about Islam.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So I fully understand this.
Can
but
I put on the thinking deeply music? I have some. Okay, go ahead.
It's weird because Judaism is so. There's not a lot of Jewish people out there, but
right.
People seem to know more about Judaism than, say, like
Islam.
Right?
Right.
So, like, I had somebody say to me, oh, I don't know, what do you say on Yom Kippur? Like, you don't say, like, have a happy Yom Kippur, because you don't.
No.
But she was like, I don't know, like, what do you say?
Why don't you tell people what you say?
So you can say, like, so it's a fast holiday, which means, if you don't understand what fasting means, you know what fasting means. People understand that, right?
The concept of not eating. Yeah.
You're right. So you can say, have an easy fast.
Right.
Or, like, may you be inscribed in the book of life. Yeah. Or may you have, like, a good year. You could still say Happy New Year because it's still part of the general,
it's
the New Year holiday.
Listen, people say have a happy fucking New Year like 3 weeks after January 1st.
Right.
You can say it within the week after the Jewish New Year.
Right.
And remember, bitches, it's 5780.
Right. Right.
Go on.
I don't know. And, it's, the other thing is, like, about the othering, just going back to that topic.
Yeah.
just for a minute?
Mm-hmm.
I've uncovered in my travels and befriending people out in Western Massachusetts a lot of other
Hidden
people,
Jews,
like people who have interfaith married, and don't outwardly say that they're Jewish.
That was an idea I had for a podcast, by the way.
But it's like true, it's
Hidden
I know at
Jews.
least 3 or 4 people who fit that criteria, and it's no judgment against them.
They're Jews on the DL.
They're Jews on the DL, like they were raised in the faith, and they don't outwardly identify.
No, in all fairness, that might be by choice.
No, I understand. I'm just saying.
In the same way that I reject
Right.
the principles of Christianity and Christian culture
Right.
when I was raised in it.
Right. I just don't know how much of that is assimilation.
I'm not a hidden Christian.
Right. It's like I do declare that I am not strongly of faith.
I do declare I am not strongly of faith.
But I identify as
But I identify. Go on.
And that, my friends, is why we are raising our children Jewish.
That's right.
So I don't want them to feel othered per se, but I want them to understand
Yes.
that others may perceive them as others.
And here's one of the things. I'm gonna be dead serious for a minute. No joking around. Okay, even though I'm playing the serious music. The serious mystical music.
Should play the jokey music while you're being serious.
One of the reasons I decided to raise our children Jewish, right? I've been around now and been close to the Jewish faith for 24 years. 23, right?
Well, you've been together for 23 years.
Right.
Whether or not you've been close with the Jewish religion elsewhere, I have no idea.
In close enough proximity to observe it and what it offers people, right? What I have observed in my short 23 years in proximity to people who practice it is that at least your family and other people, they take the moral guidelines that Judaism offers seriously. It's not window dressing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like they try to be a good person. They try to be generous.
Mm-hmm.
They're dedicated to their community. They participate in charity. I'm just talking about your family and the people I've seen in those circles.
Right. And the community with which we belong here in Western Massachusetts.
It's not this phony fucking bullshit wrapped in materialism. Like, at least the folks I've been close to believe it as part of their moral character. So, and I know there are lots of problems with Judaism and all Judeo-Christian religions when it comes to misogyny and
is huge.
blah, blah, blah. But I don't mean to blah, blah, blah that. But what I'm saying...
think it also depends on which synagogue you choose
the community you belong to and those circles are not
inclusive.
misogynistic.
It's ridiculous.
Right. So that's why I blah, blah, blah that. I know it's a problem in other communities, and I don't mean to blah, blah, blah it. But my point is that's the reason why I kind of decided it was a good choice, because I saw that, at least in my mind, compared to contemporary Christians, that Judaism can actually provide a moral and life structure that can benefit their lives.
Right. It's interesting. Like my mom used to say, a lot of the life, death rituals that are built into religion.
That's one of the
general, and the sense of community and belonging is, gives some sort of structure.
And that's one of the things I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Jews don't do that creepy open casket shit.
Well, that's a whole nother story.
That's frightening.
Yeah.
I've seen too many of those.
Yeah. And the anyways, I
What?
mean, I don't want to go into that. I'm not.
I want to be frozen.
My wounds are too fresh to.
Yeah, don't go
start
into
talking
it.
about any of that stuff. So
Yeah.
All right. So.
Will you agree to freeze me, please?
God, I've made no progress on that book that we keep talking about that I'm reading. I don't think I'm ever going to read it. Let's be honest.
What's it called again?
Fall.
All
I
right.
really do want to read it, though. That's the problem.
All right, we got to move this along.
Yeah, we're
already
weeds.
45 minutes into this.
We're like seriously in the weeds, and we wanted to have a long discussion.
All right, so we're going to talk, next we're going to talk about list number 34 from the 52 lists for happiness.
Jeez, list 34.
And that
This should go fast.
is, I believe, sorry, I got to change my sound pads up here. Hold on.
Yeah, you got to get rid of the somber music.
Oh, I have to stop it first
Yeah,
before
seriously.
I can move on. Which is, what is it? Something about foods. Would you read it while I fuck around with this for a second?
Yeah, it's about the foods that taste great and make you feel great about yourself when you eat them.
All right, so that's the list. You ready for the list music?
Oh my gosh, the list music.
It's good stuff, right? Do, tres. All right. We've heard enough of this, right?
Yeah.
So this is the foods that taste great and make you feel good about yourself.
You're going to go first?
Yeah, but before we read this, I need to say something. What was that noise?
I don't know.
Will you go investigate?
No.
All right. Before we read this, I need to say something. I don't have the best relationship with food. Right?
I do.
Well, this is something I think I've talked about.
Seafood and I eat it.
You're on the seafood diet. No, I think I've mentioned this. I think I've mentioned this before. I struggle with body dysmorphia, right?
Yeah.
I struggle with viewing weight as a measure of my worth and character.
For real?
Yeah, you know that.
I sure hope you're talking to your therapist about this.
Let's move along.
So,
yeah, so
oh boy.
So I don't have the best relationship with food.
Do you want
So
me
by
to
way
read
of
first?
I just want to prep people by saying
You still have like 20 things on your list.
yeah, these are foods that taste great to me, but I feel great shame after I eat them versus feeling good.
Is there nothing that you eat that makes you feel good? All right, read your list.
No, not really.
Okay.
Nothing that I don't filter through that context of body dysmorphia and weight.
Ugh, so sad. Okay.
Yeah. Like, so we ate okay.
Go.
All right. Movie theater popcorn. I love that.
Salty goodness.
God, it tastes so good. It's one of my favorite things. It's the top of my list.
Peanut butter.
Good barbecue. Pumpkin beer.
Mm-hmm.
Pumpkin ice cream. Iced coffee.
Mm-hmm.
Iced coffee is one of the few things on my list, I will say, that tastes good to me and makes me feel great.
And it has no calories.
You said it, I didn't. I'm just going to mention that. Breakfast sandwiches. I love a breakfast sandwich.
Like what kind?
It could be like from Dunkin' Donuts. It could be a breakfast sandwich I make here. Like bread, eggs, and cheese.
Okay. Go.
Yeah, I mean, it is
Quintessential. Got it.
like a orgasm in my mouth. I love breakfast sandwiches.
Okay.
Whiskey, salads, fried clams, veggie straws, Subway veggie delight sandwiches. You'd hate Subway.
I hate the smell of Subway.
I love Subway. I know you don't like it.
Walk in there and it's
No, I like it. You don't like it. I like it.
That's all right.
Mushrooms.
Like what kind?
Any kind of mushroom. I like a mushroom. It tastes good to
Like
me.
cooked or raw?
Both.
All
They
right.
taste good to me.
All right.
Tea?
What kind of tea?
Any tea.
There's like so many kinds of
Mostly
tea.
mostly black teas. Stronger, earthier, blacker teas.
Okay.
I like honey.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote maple syrup here, but I actually meant maple syrup.
Uh-huh.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
Wine.
Mm-hmm.
Edible cannabis products.
Mm-hmm.
Seltzer. I like seltzer. I don't feel any guilt about it, but that's not really food by
That's
definition.
not food.
Sorry.
Giving yourself an allergy attack.
Because
I
it
know you never do
doesn't.
something.
Yeah, I just realized that because it doesn't contain calories. Pho.
Mm-hmm.
Pasole. Chips, salsa, and guacamole.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Those are the only foods that taste great to me.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much what I live on.
I have just mentioned everything I eat.
And pretty much.
You forgot something.
What did I forget?
Sushi.
Oh, I did forget sushi.
I have that on my list, so I will start my list. I have sushi because there's nothing better than sushi with like a kick of wasabi.
Or as your father says, sushi.
Sushi.
Go on.
All right. So the top of my list, sushi was not the top of my list. Chocolate chip cookies.
Chocolate sheep cookies.
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
And I have coffee.
Hot or cold?
I just have coffee. I mean, my favorite right now is like a nitro brew.
You have to choose. You have to have an
No.
opinion.
I mean, I like iced coffee in the warmer weather, and I like hot coffee in the colder weather.
Okay.
So, for a special treat, though, I like dirty chai.
Oh, what? Explain to people what a dirty chai is.
It is a chai latte with a shot of espresso.
Okay.
All right. So then I have bread.
Wine is not good for burping.
Hey, stop burping.
It sucks.
All right.
Go
so
on.
bread.
Oh, bread is
Hearty,
great.
wholesome bread. Toast with jam, like all sorts of bread.
We just ate the shit out of a challah.
Yeah, challah is delicious. I very much enjoy a cold yogurty smoothie.
Too acidic.
Not if you
Go
do
on.
it right. Nothing like a cold yogurt smoothie
Do you
with a
put bananas in it?
sometimes, but if you eat a cold smoothie, if you drink a cold smoothie with an English muffin toasted with peanut butter on it,
No.
and it's like all melty
no.
and it gets into the cracks of the
Disgusting.
English muffin, it's so
Warm peanut butter is the worst.
good. No, I disagree wholeheartedly.
No, it is gross.
Nope.
It is literally like eating shit.
Nope.
It's gross.
I have a nutty grain bowl.
I don't even know what that
It
is.
doesn't matter.
Tell me what a nutty green bowl is.
It's a grain bowl that has like those nutty grains,
I don't know what a nutty grain is.
like a farro or a quinoa or couscous. All right, moving on. I like making sweet potato kale with a runny egg over it. That's good stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
In the summer, my favorite meal to make is a lazy eggplant parmesan with goat cheese.
Describe what that is, please.
So you roast eggplant with tomato and garlic and some basil with some olive oil, salt and pepper. Literally, that's it.
It's my favorite thing.
You like blast it at like 400 degrees for like an hour, and
it gets
like
caramelized.
it like totally melts, and then you eat it with goat cheese
yeah,
or some kind of
so
soft,
good.
creamy cheese, and it's
Oh yeah.
so good. Mhm.
Oh god.
See?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about it right now.
I like.
And you need those garden tomatoes.
Yeah,
for
you
it.
need the tomatoes. You need like
Big,
all the fresh CSA
ripe.
stuff.
Red garden tomatoes. Oh,
Right.
go on.
Peanut M&Ms.
Hi, my name is. Hi,
I
my
don't know
name
why.
is Peanut M&M. Go ahead.
Sour neon gummy worms. They make me super happy, but too much sugar makes you
Yeah,
feel
too
sick.
sour. I don't like those.
Coffee malted milkshakes. One of my favorites.
Go ahead.
Tequila. Burgers. I love burgers. And nachos, which I ate when you talked about nachos.
Yeah, I love nachos too.
I will
That's
eat
a good list.
any kind of nachos.
Okay, was that it for the lists?
That was my list.
What does that stupid action item on there say?
It says get a treat and say to yourself out loud, it's treat time.
That is the lamest fucking thing I've ever. Let's try it with wine. Hold on.
Ready?
Go ahead.
It's treat time.
Stomping Jen just drank her wine.
All right. Next week, list 35. List the
what?
elements of your life where you feel challenged in a positive way.
How the fuck do you feel challenged in a positive way?
You don't like a challenge?
No, every challenge to me seems like a terror.
Okay.
No, seriously.
Cross that off the list.
Do you have challenges that don't terrify you?
Yeah. I don't know. I like for me, my favorite kinds of things like puzzles. Like
A puzzle's not a challenge.
yeah, it is.
No, it's a game.
All right. Goodbye.
That's it for the lists, folks. Okay?
Yep. We got
Now.
a lot more shit to get to.
Okay? That was it.
All right.
Now, we have to roll into our next section.
Oh, we have
the
another bumper.
podcast.
All right, people.
How are we entertaining
Gird your
ourselves?
loins.
You ready?
Here we go.
This is the new one. Oh, this is good.
This is the thing that's like 20 minutes long.
We'll fade it out early this time.
What the fuck is that?
Doesn't matter.
What language is that?
That's the film
fight
reel.
against the lesser man within,
It's a poem.
for he is a coward. He's a coward.
Is that the Joker?
It could be.
Where did you get it from?
Okay. We good? How are we entertaining ourselves?
Yeah, let's move on. Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's start off with the first thing on the list, which is
The Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead season 10.
It's like the show is literally like The Walking Dead.
The show is The Walking Dead, but we've been with it. We were fans of
From the beginning.
from the very beginning. We've been
Yeah.
with it. We're gonna stick with it till it goes off the air.
Almost bailed season 9. We've almost bailed a couple times. Let's be real.
Yeah, but we're sticking with it, right?
We're sticking with it, even though that season 10 premiere was.
It was terrible.
It was
Let's
terrible.
Face it. Let's face it. It was terrible.
It was awful.
But-
And we made fun of it the whole time. We should have been live podcasting us watching The Walking Dead.
We could try that sometime. We have a TV right here,
Yeah.
so it's something we could do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyways, there's not much to say about it except it's just
No.
it's just
Let's move on.
It's
Although we
it-
did just get the 4th compendium.
so the
comic.
yeah, the compendium collects all of the comics. There are 4 in the entire series. They're like 500 pages
It's 4
each.
compendiums.
4 compendiums.
And a compendium is comprised of, I think, like 100 comics.
Yeah.
So we have the first 3, and the 4th literally just arrived today on our doorstep.
Yep. I intend to read it this coming weekend in front of a fire.
Except I'll probably be. Oh, we're gonna bring it. Oh,
Yeah,
sweet.
we're bringing the
Okay.
compendium.
All right, cool.
That's good fireplace reading.
Yeah, I can bring my fall book, and I
Yeah.
won't read any of it.
I've got. You can read it first. I got plenty of books.
All right.
Okay, so Walking Dead.
Walking Dead.
We're still watching Discovery.
Yeah.
We just finished episode 8.
8.
I'm really liking it.
It's really good.
Like, I really like how they are kind of leaning into some, I said this in the last podcast, I think some really hard sci-fi concepts.
Yeah.
And I just, the woman who plays Michael Burnham.
Sasha, who was on The Walking
Yeah,
Dead.
she made the right move.
What's her real name?
I
Sasha
don't
was her
know.
name on The Walking
I don't know.
Dead.
But she made the right move leaving The Walking Dead and going to Discovery.
And her hair is always spot on.
I'm loving Discovery. And she's got a nice sachet. She's always sashaying.
Yes. We were also, you didn't put this on the list, but Survivor started last week and we're watching, 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and they brought back my favorite
Boston Rob.
Survivor player ever, Boston Rob.
Right. We'll talk about that more as the season gets a little bit more interesting.
Yeah. Boston Rob Mariano.
And Sandra, whatever her name,
Who
last name
cares
is.
about her?
She only won twice, but Boston Rob is the shizite.
Well, I mean, she is arguably the best player ever. She won twice. So she has that going for her.
All right.
All right, so Survivor.
Right. Wu-Tang Clan. They're still not the Wu-Tang yet. They're sort of getting there.
Yeah. Almost. I think in the next episode.
They better get there. I'm starting to lose interest, actually, because this last episode was a
no,
little
you're
wonky.
you're not. Okay, sorry, I don't want to assume this. So what I think you may not be picking up on is this last episode really showed that the reason they have not come together quite yet is they had all of these forces around them keeping them apart.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, I did get that.
Okay.
And then
their personal lives are like breaking down. The RZA's mother and family left. And the last shot, I think the last shot of that episode is them all kind of the core of the group standing there on the street corner together.
No, that was the episode before.
No, this was the episode
This one
just
ended
watched.
with his like solo album coming out and they were in the record store.
Oh, you're right. It did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I totally forgot that. Thank you.
And it was a little cheesy. His like album was cheesy. It wasn't.
Well, everybody has to start with like a
Something.
garbage project.
Right.
Like the Soft Serve podcast will be my garbage podcast.
Oh, stop it.
Listen, you got to cut your teeth on something, right?
All right. We're also watching Euphoria on HBO, which is phenomenal.
Oh, God, I can't handle that show.
We're really enjoying it.
It is so good.
Yeah.
I said this before, like I really like how they showcase a trans actress.
She's really trans.
Yes, I mean she plays a trans character.
But
And
she is
trans, but it's not like, hey, I'm trans.
It's
look
not
at me.
about her being trans.
Right.
It's about
Thank
her
you.
actual other issues that she has in
Yes. Yeah. And she's actually my favorite character on the show.
Yeah.
I think.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's the most complex.
Yeah. And the music.
It's amazing.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Let's move on to the meat that we said we were going to talk about.
The
the
Joker
meat
movie.
and potatoes.
Joker.
Joker.
I don't know. After all of this wine,
that you're able to have a serious discussion.
no.
about it.
Well, I think I can, but I probably will sound like an idiot still. We saw the movie. We saw the movie. What do you want to say about it? Why don't you start? Just in general, what was your reaction to the movie?
I thought it was beautiful.
That's a good description.
Yeah.
What did you find beautiful about it? Why do you use that word?
It was shot beautifully.
Mm-hmm.
It really kind of, I don't know. I've always kind of been drawn to sort of outsider art, if you will, in
Yeah.
my musical choices.
So you see this as a piece of outsider art, possibly?
Not outside. I mean, when I say outsider, I don't mean like crazy. I just mean like, I tend to prefer grittier kind of dark material.
Is
in
that why
general.
you're married to me?
Probably.
I'm grittier and darker material. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think of you as that though. I
No.
I think
Interesting.
of you as like a very light human being,
Huh.
actually, which is weird.
Okay, go ahead.
But it was masterful. Like it was just really a well done film.
Yeah, I
don't
agree.
say movie. I mean, it's a film.
Yeah, I mean, it's both. It's a movie and a film.
Right.
I think it was shot beautifully.
Yeah.
The performance by Joaquin Phoenix was amazing.
Intense.
I've never seen anything like it.
It was transfixing.
Like that, there's this one scene.
Even the way he like smokes.
Yeah.
Because he's constantly got a cigarette in his mouth.
Yeah, there's this one scene at the very beginning, and they do a couple scenes where they focus on his body and the way the bones contort beneath his skin. Like, there's like something trying to get out of him before he becomes the Joker.
Yeah.
I don't know if you picked up on that.
Yeah.
That was just so amazingly well done. And in some ways, so I'm trying to think about this, or I don't want to talk about the other things right now, but just in terms of the persona of the Joker emerging from the character Arthur Fleck, right? Those scenes where he's like hunched over and he's doing stuff and his bones are poking out of him and he's like tense and rageful. Like, to me, that was all about, like, he's got this inner kind of bubbling discontent and rage just waiting to burst out. And that's kind of what we see at the end of the movie.
I don't know why when you're talking about that.
Yeah.
All I can think about is the Red Dragon.
Yes. Yes. The Red Dragon is the prequel to Silence of the Lambs, where there is this serial killer called the Red Dragon who transforms his body. Yeah, kind of.
Right?
That's a really good, I must have been doing a good job of describing that.
Yeah. That was like the
wine.
imagery that just
Yeah.
came in my mind.
Anyways, that was one of the things that stuck out to me most prominently about the movie. And then I just kept fixating on was his body. And like,
He's so wiry.
yeah.
Like
So there's that. So there's his performance, like his physical performance was amazing. The cinematography was beautiful. There was the dance scenes and the music. I'll play a little of the music in a little bit just so you can hear it. From the woman who did the soundtrack. But anyways, I've been thinking, and a lot of people have written original ideas about what the movie says about mental illness, and how we treat people with mental illnesses in this society.
Yeah.
Do you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, all the programming and the cutting of funding and the like rich versus the downtrodden and they like set up the whole movie with this like idea that the city is about to break over a pivotal like point.
Yeah. I think that's more to the other point I want to talk about, society and culture. But
Yeah,
I think
sorry.
No, it's okay. But you raise a really good point about the cutting of funding in our very own town here in Belchertown, right? And I can only talk about Massachusetts. I can think of 3 towns in Massachusetts where they had facilities that were built just to treat people with mental illnesses, right?
Oh, you're talking about state school
Yeah.
facilities?
And there were a lot of atrocities that occurred by institutionalizing people in those facilities. But what I want to say is, at least at one point, society recognized that mental illness, and again, acknowledging there were lots of problems with the system, was something that required special treatment and a high level of care. And sometime in the late 80s, at least the state of Massachusetts recognized that those facilities were too expensive to run and maintain. They
Right,
just
they
shut
shut
them
'em
down
down.
and let the people out on the streets.
Right.
Like, effectively, like, unsupported compared to how they had been.
Right.
Right. And again, those institutions weren't perfect. a lot of horrible things happened in them. A lot of people were institutionalized who should not have been. I get it, right? But I think my larger point was, at least there was a commitment from society to
Right.
take care of people
Right.
who were mentally ill.
Right.
And that all changed in the late 80s. And I think the movie kind of shows that.
Right. Because it's
Pretty
set definitely
starkly.
in like 70s,
Yeah.
80s.
Yeah.
Like,
So, there's a point in the movie where Arthur is just cut off from care.
yeah.
And I think that's one more nail in the coffin that pushes him over towards becoming the Joker.
Yeah.
So, and then there's the larger points that the movie's trying to make about society and culture,
Mm-hmm.
right? And for me, it was about how callous and mean people have become.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's interesting, like you point out, it was set sometime in the 70s or 80s, probably. And so they weren't cell phones in it and social media culture,
Right.
but it felt like incredibly relevant to today to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, I shared this with you privately, like something happened to me the other day that really disturbed me before I saw this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it came flooding back to me as I saw the movie. When I'm thinking just how mean and fucking indifferent people have become
Mm-hmm.
to other people. I was driving here in our town of Belchertown. I stopped at a stop sign, and it was it was a one-way stop, right? So like a 90-degree angle. So there's traffic to the left, traffic to the right of me, right? So I was making a left-hand turn, and like probably 200 yards down the road to my left, like safely out of range of me, was a car. And it was far enough away where I made the determination that it was like completely appropriate for me to turn. I had the kids in the car with me. I stopped, put on my blinker, turned, nowhere near this person, right? Finally, when they pass me, the guy just sticks up his middle finger and just mouths "fuck you" at me. Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why?
That happened to me today.
I know, I'm just saying, but I
Yeah.
hadn't even seen Joker yet.
Yeah.
And like, I was thinking to myself at the time, like, why did that person like feel so angry at me?
Yeah.
Because I made a left-hand turn.
Yeah.
That they felt the need to, I'm not like such a pussy that I actually feel assaulted by that. And more was just running over in my mind and trying to like figure out.
Like, why? Why couldn't they just be like,
And this
normal?
person was driving like a really nice car, like an Audi A8. It's like an $80,000 car. They're like probably a privileged person. Like, what is going on in that person's life? What kind of mindset are they in that they had to do that to me?
I was leaving Stop and Shop
Yeah.
after my online ordering.
Speaking of privilege, go on.
Uh-huh. So I was making a left, and somebody, in the way that that left is in the first
I know where you mean.
parking lot,
Yeah.
there's like people can make a right in, and then so I was making a left out, and the
Yeah.
guy was making a right in,
Right.
and he was like way over, and I don't know, I was just making a left, and he just like gave me the middle, like he just totally
Yeah.
was like, he stopped short, and then he gave me the middle finger, and I'm
Right.
like, what the fuck? Like,
Right.
you flew in here. Maybe I was wrong too, because I flew out,
Yeah.
but like, okay, we didn't hit each other.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't, in my case, there was no interpretation
Right.
at all.
Yeah.
And I just was reflecting on myself, like, how have we sunk so low that we're so mean and cruel to each other?
Yeah.
And I think that's what the Joker
It's like in
is
the
talking about.
The impersonality.
Well, right.
When people are behind their cars, they feel like empowered because
Yeah.
they're in a vehicle that's moving.
Right. But I think it's deeper than that, too. I do think it's that we don't really see each other as people anymore.
No.
And I think The Joker movie doesn't talk about this, obviously, but I think social media has a lot to do with it. I'm quitting Facebook again. That's it. Just joking. But anyways, I think the Joker has something to say about how cruel society has become to people.
Yeah. Like there was that one. Are we allowed to have spoilers?
We'll get to spoilers, and we'll have a spoiler section, so no spoilers. No.
I don't even know if it's a spoiler. Like he was trying.
Okay, if you're revealing a key plot
It's
point,
not a key plot
it's a
point.
spoiler. Okay, go
Like
ahead.
he was like trying to interact with a kid on the bus.
That's fine. That's not a spoiler.
And like
That's in the trailer.
and like the mother like yelled at him to turn around.
Yeah.
The kid.
Yeah.
And it was like he was just trying to like engage
Yeah.
with
Right.
another person
Yeah.
on a public transportation.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Make a connection.
yeah, and you know, like people are nice to their neighbors. You know, you read about people paying it forward here and there in the fucking Dunkin' Donuts line.
Fucking sick of the Dunkin' Donuts line.
Right, but I'm just saying, like, generally, I think overall, you know, I think people have just become fucking cruel assholes. And I'm sorry if that's dark, but that's how I feel. And I think the movie does a good job of showing that.
Yeah.
You know, how we just don't give a fuck about each other as people anymore.
Yeah. You want to talk about the music?
Yeah, so I'm just saying, I think the movie has very important things to say about those two issues. So, like, I have to highly recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the music. God, we've been getting banned from YouTube, by the way.
Oh, that was the other thing.
Left and right.
Did you read that Michael Moore review?
Yeah, I did. So you should read Michael Moore's review.
Yeah, read Michael Moore's review of
about
the
the
Joker.
because he talks about some of this stuff too, more elegantly than me.
Eloquently.
What did I say?
Elegantly. I think you wanted
It could
to
be
say,
both too.
I think you wanted to say eloquent.
No, I meant to say elegant.
I don't think so.
Eloquently. All right.
But he, he was talking about how like people are warning people not to bring their kids and that it's really violent. And his point in the review is like, it's too violent, like in a culture where like people are desensitized to mass shootings.
In a culture where we are making kindergartners go through active shooting drills, a movie is too violent.
Right. That's, a lot of his viewpoint, which
he's got a good point.
he has some good points. Yeah.
And so I think one of the I think most amazing parts of the movie is the soundtrack.
Yes.
And I'm going to butcher this poor woman's name, and I'm sorry.
But her Joaquin Phoenix, who plays the Joker, he used her music as inspiration for his transformation to the Joker.
And this woman is a cellist and composer, and she also composed the music for the HBO series Chernobyl,
which is we've talked about before.
Yes, which is amazing.
But the music is also amazing.
Right. So, this music I'm playing so that we can kind of analyze and critique it for its emotional depth.
You should play the
Which one?
The bathroom dance.
Okay, bathroom dance. Okay, and the woman's name who composed the soundtrack, her name is Hildur Guðnadóttir.
She's Icelandic.
She's Icelandic, so I apologize.
No, wait, she's not Icelandic.
She's either Swedish or Icelandic.
I think she
or something.
lives in Iceland, but she
Hildur Guðnadóttir.
Definitely Norse.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This is a song called the Bathroom Dance from the Joker. And I want you to listen. I want us to listen to it to try to feel the
emotional resonance.
The emotional resonance, the sorrow, the transformation of a man.
Breaking Bad.
That was great. Man, I'm glad you're my co-host.
Oh, tonight you like me?
I like you all the time.
Okay.
Can I go so far as to say I love you?
Maybe.
Okay. Bathroom dance. It's so tortured sounding. but beautiful. And if you're listening to this on YouTube, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to end up cutting it all out. They ban my videos on YouTube.
Wait, when are you videoing on YouTube?
We publish to YouTube now.
We do?
Yeah.
That's creepy. What do you put as a picture?
It's just our logo. Listen to this. Now picture Joaquin Phoenix dressed as the Joker, dancing in front of a mirror, kind of becoming the Joker, internalizing all of that abuse and neglect from society.
I'm getting chills.
It's haunting, isn't it?
Am I getting chills because the window's open or because of the music?
Because of the music. What do you think about this?
What'd you do?
It's something else, isn't it? I'm going to play another one called Call Me Joker. I think the cello might be my new favorite instrument.
Are you going to take it up?
No.
It's a big instrument.
Is this at the end? When is it? When do they play this song?
I don't have any idea.
God. I think this is after he becomes the Joker, right? Like he becomes fully realized. I think this is after he's beaten down and they lift him back up on the car. I think.
I don't know.
Did we play enough of this?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, this is Hildur.
Good not to the door.
Yeah, go buy her albums and listen to
Her
her
solo album.
Her solo albums are great. Go listen to those. Buy her solo albums. Buy the fucking Joker soundtrack. Okay? Support this woman, please. This is amazing, important music. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do we want to do a spoiler section?
I don't know. I mean, do we think?
All right. I want to talk a little bit. So,
They make a big point about saying that there's no Batman in this.
Here's what we're going to
movie.
do.
No, I'm just saying.
Yes, the producers
make a big
and the
thing
director
about-
made a big point about how there's no Batman in the movie. We're going to talk a little bit about this now. So we're going to go into a spoiler section, okay?
Spoilers,
I'm going to play about
spoilers,
I'm going to play about 10 seconds of the outro music. And if you don't want to hear spoilers for the Joker, bye Felicia. Okay? When the outro music stops playing, we're going to be talking spoilers about Joker, okay?
Okay.
So you've been warned. Okay?
Okay.
Here we go. About 10 seconds of this. Spoilers are coming. Get the fuck out of here. Okay. Hopefully you're gone now if you don't want to hear spoilers for the Joker. Hopefully you got the fuck out of here. Okay? But we're still here. Now, Stomping Jen just said the producers made a big stink about how there's no Batman in this movie. And there's no connection to Batman, and now it's standalone. Blah, 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 blah.
Except
there's a whole shit ton of connection to Batman in this. The Joker.
specifically Bruce Wayne, who is not the Batman, but
specifically
will turn into the Batman.
Specifically, at points in... Remember, this is a spoiler discussion, so we can talk about this. Specifically, at points in the movie, we are led to believe that the Joker may in fact be the half-brother of Batman.
Sure.
right? He believes for lots of reasons. He believes that Thomas Wayne is his father,
Right.
right? His mother,
Martha.
no,
Oh,
the
Penny
Joker's
Fleck.
mother
Penny
worked in Thomas Wayne's company,
Household, yeah.
in his household, and he had an affair with her, and
Or so she claims.
um,
To Arthur.
and
AKA
yeah,
the
right,
Joker.
and then denied that he was the father, leading Arthur's mother to go crazy, and he ended up forging all this paperwork to show she was crazy and had her committed at various points. So this is a big thread through the movie, that the Joker believes he is Bruce Wayne's half brother, and that Thomas Wayne's his father, and Bruce Wayne is just a boy in this, probably like 9.
Right.
So at some point in the movie, Arthur, who becomes the Joker, goes to the Wayne Manor
Household, yeah.
and meets Bruce Wayne, talks to him
Through a gate.
through a gate.
Don't worry, he doesn't harm him.
Then he has an encounter with Thomas Wayne, yada yada. So there's like a really deep connection.
Yeah. And then they actually show the murder of Thomas and Martha Wayne, like in an alleyway with the pearls, like the whole McGillicuddy,
That's right.
the whole Batman mythology.
Yeah, and the murder is not done by the Joker in this
No.
movie. It's done by somebody who is emulating the Joker.
Right.
Now, that gets us to the end of the movie.
Right.
I did not pick up on this, okay, when we were watching the movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't until I was reading reviews afterwards.
Yeah.
But the end of the movie, he becomes the Joker, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then he apparently is arrested. We never see him get arrested.
Right.
Okay,
He's
the
in
last
Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, but the last time we see the Joker in makeup, he's standing on the roof of a police cruiser or a car surrounded by people.
Right.
Then it cuts to a scene where he's in Arkham Asylum.
Right.
He's sitting across the table from a woman who is apparently a psychiatrist.
Right.
And he's talking to her. And I didn't pick up on this at the time, but from what the reviews I read said that he was telling her the whole story we had just watched.
Okay.
That was not my read on it.
No. Well,
Right.
he says.
Well,
he starts
so
laughing.
he's sitting there talking to her,
Right.
and he starts laughing, and she says, "What are you laughing at?" And he says, "You wouldn't get it." Right.
Right. In the next scene.
But there are a lot of like douchebag critics and reviewers, I think, who are taking that to mean that he was making up the whole story that was just the movie we watched.
Yeah, I don't believe that.
That was not my interpretation.
And then they show him in the hallway with
he
bloody
kills her.
feet.
Yeah, he kills her.
And running away from a guard.
He murders her. And the movie ends with him running around
and somebody trying to grab him.
the hallways of Arkham Asylum, Benny Hill style. It's quite funny, actually.
Yeah.
But my point is, I took the events in the movie as we saw them to have actually occurred.
Mm-hmm.
Did you?
Yeah.
Like, did you ever for a moment think that he was telling a story that he made up?
No.
Yeah, I didn't.
No. I mean, there were some moments in the movie where he hallucinates that he's in a relationship with somebody. Which
Yeah, but we know he's mentally
we don't know
ill.
whether or not he kills that woman. I'm really curious if he killed her or not.
Yeah, me too. But
And
they
don't address that.
But they reveal that to us in the context of the movie, that those things were not real.
Right.
Like they show that to us.
Right. So why would they? That seems like a cop out.
Right. My point is, they show that to us, and I guess you could say as he's talking to her, if the whole movie really is him telling a story about the things we just watched, I suppose he could realize while he's telling the story that the woman wasn't real, that he thought he was dating.
Well, you had an interesting point because
What
you
was
wanted
it?
to know
Go ahead.
why all the women he spoke to
Were African American.
Were African American.
Yeah.
Well,
I don't understand
at the
that.
beginning, when the opening shot of the movie is
Yeah.
him talking to the social worker,
Right.
and she asks him, you were in Arkham. Why were you in Arkham? Do you know why? And they don't really reveal, or they don't really, there's no timeline between
Yeah.
what happened to him before the movie. And like, they clearly state that he had been incarcerated or institutionalized for a period of time, but we don't know why.
Right.
And he's
That's
on
a good point.
medication now. And they cut the funding. He's off his meds. And that's like when he kind of breaks. But
No, I think he broke before that.
no, he has no more meds. Because remember, he says, I don't
No, I know
feel-
that. But he was
he said
beaten. He was well down the path to becoming Joker
Yes.
before they cut his meds. That's all.
He just had negative thoughts all the
Yeah.
time, as he mentioned. But
Yeah. But I'm saying that was for me, that was the nail in the coffin, that he truly has no support.
yeah.
Like, society is not going to support him.
But he did say that once he went off his meds, he felt much better.
Yeah. So
I don't know.
my interpretation of the ending, and again, this is just me. I know that other people may interpret it differently, is that the events that we saw in the movie were as we saw them, right? He didn't make it up
No, I don't.
as an
think he would.
inmate in Arkham.
No, that seems crazy.
I believe that he
No, but
I believe that he did become the Joker,
yeah.
and I believe that he'll eventually, that character that we saw in the movie will be the Joker that ends up going up against Batman in some future movie.
Batman, he escapes Arkham. Like,
Well, the Joker
he escapes.
is the yin to Batman's yang.
Right.
I mean, it's always been that way in the
I don't-
comics.
well, like, I like the idea that he's like a standalone I mean, they focus on the Batman. Like,
Yeah.
why shouldn't they focus on like the villain and his backstory or her backstory or whatever?
Right.
I
And
don't know.
I think in this case, right, like Batman's whole deal is that he tries to bring order to the world, right?
I mean, he's a fucked up kid too.
I know. And
They're all
what's
fucked up.
and this makes it infinitely more interesting to me that they could be half brothers,
Yeah.
right? Because in the comics they are the yin and the yang.
Right.
Like in The Dark Knight, as the Joker is hanging upside down, right, by Batman's cable, and Batman's threatening to drop him and kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Heath Ledger's Joker says, "You can't, you won't do it because you need me.
Yeah.
We need each other,
Right.
right? You complete
Who
me."
plays it? Christian Bale.
Christian Bale played Batman in the Dark Knight.
Is that Heath Ledger?
Yeah. Now, let's just save me some. So
I'm going to.
now my point, I think, because I want to watch Euphoria after we're done with this. Now my point, it's interesting. I've been thinking about the Heath Joker Ledger versus the Heath Joker Ledger.
The Heath Ledger Joker.
Okay, listen, I warned you
Joaquin
about this
Phoenix.
wine. The Heath Ledger
I
Joker
think that they're
versus.
both brilliant.
Let
And
me say something.
I will go so far
Can I
as
just
to
wait?
say
Let me make a. I'm going to mute you. Let me make a point.
that Jack Nicholson's Joker is also valid in this discussion. Can you not?
Okay, let me just finish making my point. Then you can make yours. Okay.
Fuck you.
I will not even consider Jack Nicholson in this conversation. Let me tell you why. Hold on. Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
I thought he was great. I still love that.
Let me
movie.
tell you
I'm
why.
Sorry.
Can I tell you why?
Go ahead.
Batman is a great comic.
Where did he get those?
You're not letting me make my
wonderful
point.
toys?
I need you to let me make my point about this. Batman is a great, fantastical comic book movie, right? It's like somebody took Batman from the comic book pages and put it on the screen.
Wait, which one are we talking about? The
Batman.
Tim Burton.
Yes, Batman.
Tim Burton.
Batman. That's what
Michael
it's called.
Keaton. Okay.
Batman.
Just clarifying.
Okay?
Thank you.
It is a comic book
Love that
movie.
movie.
It has no real emotional depth. It's not trying
No,
to. Let
it's
me finish
fluff.
my. What is so threatening about my point that you need to keep cutting me
I
off?
love that movie.
You can love the movie. Let me make my point.
Go ahead.
It has no real depth. It's not trying to say anything about society or people. Okay? Rein it in. Keep it under control. We're almost done. Okay? Anyways, my point that I wanted to make was I didn't feel that this interpretation of the Joker by Joaquin Phoenix took away at all from the Heath Ledger version. In fact, I felt like it added to it.
It complemented.
And I felt like they could even be the same character in my mind.
Yes.
That's sort of how I was feeling while I was watching it. I was like, this takes nothing away from it. So
how do we live in a world where a man dressed as Bat gets all my press?
I love Jack Nicholson, right? But he peddles and specializes in over-the-top acting.
Yeah, it's like the 70s version of Batman.
No, it's not at all. It's like the
No,
80s
the
version
TV show.
of Batman.
You remember the TV show?
Cesar Romero, I get it. But
Yeah.
my point is,
Go.
it's nowhere, in terms of acting, it's nowhere in the fucking same
it has
league.
no depth to it.
That's my whole point.
I agree. I still love it.
You can love it. I'm trying
He's
to...
not from The Shining, Jack Nicholson.
The exercise I'm engaged in right now is a character comparison. Okay? Not an actor comparison. I don't think the Joker we see on the screen in Tim Burton's Batman has any depth to it. It's just a comic book character.
Okay.
It is a two-dimensional rendering of what we've seen before.
It's like the original Superman movies with what's his name? Christopher Reeves.
Right. And it wasn't until
Superman.
And it wasn't until Henry Cavill,
who Sawtooth has the biggest man crush on.
I love Henry Cavill. In fact, I had a whole text exchange with my friends today about this. You
Henry
could see
Cavill.
it. Yes.
Yeah. It's like night and day.
It is like night and day.
I
So
get it. It's because in the 80s and the 90s there was all this.
You don't have to justify it. I'm not taking away from the Jack Nicholson performance, but it's not... This was before anybody realized that comic book characters and comic book movies could actually be film. Like be something serious that we want to contemplate or had anything serious to say about society. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know who said this, but somebody recently said they are like our modern, they're like our modern myths and our modern stories.
It's true. They're like the Greek gods.
Yeah. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say.
I don't know.
So that's it.
Are we done?
We're done. What are we going to title this episode?
Oh my Jesus.
Because I'm going to have to go upload this now and give it a title.
How many minutes is it?
We're 137.
Oh, that's not so bad. We love you.
Yeah. Thanks everybody. I'm back. Sawtooth is back. We're not quitting. We're here. Get used to it.
Fill your glass. Maybe we'll finish this giant bottle.
First, help me come up with a title, okay? I'm going to hit the
All right,
outro
we'll
music.
do that
and
after
we'll come up with the
we
music.
say goodbye to all the peoples. Bye now.
All right, bye, everybody. So without further ado, I say to you,
Bye
I haven't
now.
said it for a while, have I?
Bye.
I say to you,
Now.
bye now. Yeah. Bye now.
Good evening, my fellow Americans. America knows that this world of ours, ever growing smaller, must avoid becoming a community of dreadful fear and hate. Those who have freedom will understand also its heavy responsibility. That all who are insensitive to the needs of others will learn charity, and that the sources, scourges of poverty, disease, and ignorance will be made disappear from the earth. And that in the goodness of time, will come to live together in a peace guaranteed